Hello and welcome to another cast by yours truly, Fish, the best host in the world and your favorite caster of all time. Screw Rotterdam and Husky and everyone else you know, especially Day 9. It's me, Fish. Anyway, today we have a PvZ today. It's going to be a gold versus plat game, so we're going to see some interesting play. We're going to see some experienced yet inexperienced play, so it's going to be kind of interesting. If you don't know what that means, then you don't play enough gold or plat. Alright, and just to introduce our players, in the top left corner, we have our blue Zerg player, Tangent. Move it around, yay! And to the bottom right corner, playing as the Protoss, we have from Team Gachat, DarthVader. Good for you, bro. How's Anakin doing? Oh, here's Anakin. I meant Luke, but this whole joke is totally ruined now. Yeah, completely ruined. Anywho, and it looks like it's going to be a very early scout from Darth Vader here. There we go. Usually you don't really scout until about the 2.5-3 minute mark, just to actually see what's going on. Since he scouted really early, he's not going to see if there's going to be any gas, if he's going to expand really early. But what Darth Vader is doing is putting a pylon right in his natural, possibly just to be really annoying and to block off any sort of expansion. And the drone does come out from Tangent to try to push this guy away, but he's going to take a few of these drones to actually take this away, unless you pull out a few more, which is going to deny you some mining time. And the probe looks like he is just giving up on life, and he's going, oh no, he's come to life and running for his life. The drone is following with him, trying to get that one last shot, but it looks like he's not going to do it. And instead, Darth Vader is going to put down another pylon. And maybe not, it looks like he canceled it. And while he's being pesky and annoying as hell, it looks like he's going to perform a wall off. Let's see if it's a 1-gate expand, or he's going to do a full wall off with perhaps a forge or a warp gate. Warp gate? No. I think that researches warp gate. Cybernetics core, that's what it is. So he's going to go cybernetics core before he goes forge over here. Actually gets about the same time, so there's no special significance there. So it looks like it's going to deny him early expansion here, and surprisingly enough, Tangent is creating his second base over where his third or possibly fourth base would be, which isn't too scary, but it looks like since this is going to go down, he's going to go in early 3-base lead over Darth Vader over here, so it looks like he's going to go a very economic opening. Looks like he's going to be forced into it, and while he's actually might go for a little cannon rush. You'll see these in some of these pro games where it'll deny a lot of mining time or even destroy the base over here, since Zerglings by themselves are completely useless against the choke that the cannon creates behind the mineral line here. And let's see if he does. Zerglings do spot it, and just in time, because of the Overlord here. Looks like he is going to destroy that pesky probe once and for all, but can he take out this cannon in time? I believe he will. He just spotted pretty early, so he should have more than enough time to cancel it. He should cancel this. He does cancel it just in time, but the pylon is going to fall. He's going to lose a little bit of minerals there. Not a lot really lost right there. But instead, he just started his warp gate, gets the cannon right in the front there. Kind of an interesting wall off, because the entrance to his real base here is like way off into the side. Usually you'll see it maybe in the middle here or off to the side, destroying these rocks. But it looks like he's going the other way around. And on the other hand, we're looking at Tangent, creating some Zerglings to see if he can do a little bit of damage here, which he probably can. Well, actually, scratch that. The cannon does finally finish, so it's going to push any kind of real attack away. Without this cannon, he would have free reign over these buildings and destroy what he could. But instead, Tangent's getting his third base, second base already done, doing a little bit of mining already. And let's see what he has planned. He's got his speed already done, getting his second gas up. He doesn't look like he has anything in his natural here, so it looks like he might go roaches sooner or later. I don't know. While on the other hand, Darth Vader is getting his warp gate, getting his +1 attack, which is a very good upgrade to have this early in the game because they'll do a major amount of damage to these Zerglings. And did he notice that? He may not have noticed. Well, that's very interesting right here. Is Darth Vader going to build a third? But apparently not. He kind of moved him up here. Not exactly sure what he had planned there, but it has been denied by these Zerglings, staying out of his base just to deny any kind of force, at least a little bit of scouting information. Make sure there's no third or fourth going on over here at least. Phoenix is out for our Protoss player. Completely missed that. Didn't even see the Stargate here, but it looks like he is making 2 gateways and a robo, so he isn't going completely air toss. So he might be trying to make Phoenixes just to be annoying, and well, he's going to take out this Overseer very soon, which may supply block our Zerg player here just a bit. He's at 5246 supply, so he is going to be supply blocked, and he has 3 overlords on the way, so it's not going to last very long. Nidus on the way for Tangent. Where is that Nidus? There you are. But does he have very many units? I mean, what he can make is Hydralisks. Very interesting play. So, I've seen a couple games like this before. I played against this, where they go to a very DPS heavy game. So, within the 9 to about 12, 13 minutes trying to find that window, they'll have a bunch of speedlings, maybe a few banelings mixed in there, but a bunch of Zerglings and Hydralisks. Now you have to deal a lot of damage within this window, or it'll be you'll completely fail to all the Colossus that'll come out. So looks like here is his window. A lot of Hydralisks and Zerglings come out. This is going to be a nice reinforcement ladder from Tangent because of the Nidus Worm. I love this play because you get those units right away. You don't have to have the creep. You don't have to creep spread. You can get everything right away. It looks like the cannon and pylon does go down, taking out all of these buildings, taking away his +1 armor. And Nexus cannon goes go down. Phoenixes are almost damaged there. This might be his last one. Queens come out. He's going to be very aggressive with this push. It's not going to be a little reinforcement ladder, but instead it's going to be a major reinforcement ladder, whatever the hell that means. Going to take out the cybernetics core, which will be huge. That way he will be unable to make any other tech buildings. Not really. I don't think he will. I don't know. But the Immortal is out and is going to deal a lot of damage to these Queens. Hydralisk and Queen is picked up. But he does lose the Phoenix right here. It doesn't look like Darth Vader has a lot necessarily. He has a couple of Zealots, 2 more warping in, and Immortal coming out in it's about halfway done. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit, see a little more. And 4 more Hydralisks on the way, so he is going to stick with these Hydralisks. No more Zerglings at all, even though he does have the money to make more, but I don't think he has the larva and actually to make more. So he may be macroing. He is making those, so at least he's macroing up a little bit. Hydralisk doing a lot of damage. They finally spit out of the Nidus Worm. He's trying to deal as much damage as force. A nice little choke for these Hydralisks. That way these Zealots do not get that nice surround at all. Immortals do not do any damage to these Hydralisks at all. Even though they do a shit ton of damage in general, the DPS for these Hydralisks do so much damage to these Immortals. They fall really, very, very quickly. So Darth Vader has to be very careful with that. Phoenix does pick up the Queen. And Void Ray is out, dealing as much damage to that Queen as possible. Hydralisks do fall very quickly, which is surprising. Did he focus off that Phoenix? He must have. I really thought the Hydralisks were going to take care of these 2 Immortals, but I guess they're focusing down the wrong units. So it looks like more Hydralisks are on the way from Tangent, and he's going to try and spit them back up out here. Not a lot of force coming from Darth Vader, actually. He has some of these, and he only has 3 gateways, warp gates, and one of them is actually unpowered. So he's only warping in 2 at a time, even though he has money to make some more units. Actually, gateways. He really needs to make some more productive buildings. So his 3rd one's on the way, and it looks like he's going to force an attack, which I don't completely agree with at all, because these Hydralisks actually doing a lot of damage. But it looks like, actually, on the other hand, these Zealots actually take a lot of that damage, and these 3 Immortals and Void Ray actually take out the entire force that was built over here. Nidus Swarm is destroyed along with his spore crawlers. Didn't really do much damage. I think it did take out one Phoenix, but other than that. So there's only one Phoenix remaining on the field. He's going to do a little bit of scouting here. Overlord's trying to run away, but is destroyed, which isn't going to supply back him, but it is pretty annoying when you lose your supply. Ooh, there's a lot going on pretty early in the game. I like this. Alright. Nidus Swarm is back up. It looks like he just rebuilt it. Interesting enough. It looks like Tangent really hates the creep spread. Yeah, there's only one moving at a time. Here comes another Nidus Swarm. Does he have two Nidus Swarms? He's got one right there. Where's the other Nidus Swarm? Or is that the Nidus Swarm he... No? Can you make as many Nidus Swarms as you can from one Nidus Swarm? Can you really do that? After all this time, and I never knew that? Yeah, it tells you what kind of caster I am. Holy shit. Alright, and back to the Protoss side. Darth Vader has gone for a third base. And it looks like his economy is doing pretty decent here, except for he doesn't really have a lot of saturation in his mineral line here, only having 10 probes actually mining from it. It looks like his first blaze actually isn't up there either, only 13 out of 24. I think 18 is the amount you really, really want. Nidus Swarm coming out from the main here, and if it's not scouted, which it doesn't look like, looks like he's... No, he's not noticing it at all. This could do a lot of damage to the mineral line, especially with only 10 probes actually mining as natural. This could do a lot of economic damage to Darth Vader here, which, as we all know, is a huge StarCraft fan. And it looks like he only got a few probes out of that, really just focusing down the Nexus, which I kind of like. He's going to just take that down and dip right away, which is fantastic harass right here. Not really losing a lot. I think he lost maybe a queen and maybe 4 Hydralisks out of that, but takes out his main base. So he's only on 2 base right now, and only one he's mining from with only 9 probes. So he's losing a lot of economic. He's losing a lot of economics. He's stuck on economics. What the fuck am I saying? All right. Looks like Nidus Swarm is coming out right here, but is going to be spotted right away and be destroyed real quick. That's another Nidus Swarm coming down onto his third. And it looks like Darth Vader is reacting to this. Is he going to react to this, or is he just going to force the base raider in here? I think he's going to face... actually, probes do take this out just in time. So it looks like Darth Vader is, by and large, prepared for this. Nidus Swarm trying to get his units out just in time, but there's a lot of Zealots in this army taking a lot of that DPS damage. It looks like Hydralisks are falling down very quickly, and it's going to be even supply so far. But where's his supply? Is it all in drones here? I mean, he's completely saturated in all of his bases, but what does he really have? Did he actually pick him up and get him back in a nice to actually protect him? I don't know. Saves most of his drones. 3 Zealots in pursuit actually breaking off to actually do some more damage. Third base is gone, and a couple Overlords and perhaps an Overseer is going to be taken down here. And 26 Zerglings and 9 Mulisks on the way. Mulisks is going to be a nice transition from these Hydralisks, since he needs to do more economic damage over here to actually take him out. I mean, he did do a lot of damage to his main, which he's actually recreating here. So if he uses these as a harassing unit, which actually I think they're best at, then I think he can do a lot of major damage, since this entire army is very, very slow with these Immortals here. It looks like he's making a ninja base at his 4th. Actually, this isn't not a bad spot, but it could be scouted very quickly if Protoss is actually wanting to actually make his 4th base. If it's not here, he'll make it over here. And it looks like Mulisks are trying to pop in with 4 Overseers. Not exactly sure where he brought those along. But it looks like he's going to do a little bit of damage here. He kills a few probes. I think he killed 4 out of that, which is a nice hit because he's only gotten 4, now back to 9 mining here. But these Phoenixes are being really annoying. I don't think they have that range upgrade, which could be very dangerous for a Mulisk player. Mulisk player or Zerg player? For Tangent. Alright, that next cannon is doing a bit of damage here. There's only 5 Mulisks on the field. I'm not sure he's actually going to Oh, it loses all of his Mulus, so there goes all of his harassing power. Stalkers and Phoenixes corralling him up into the middle, and he's completely annihilated. 3 Mulus left on the field, but I don't think he's going to invest any more money in that. He's getting upgrades now, +1 ground attack plus +1 armor. I mean, on his second plus armor. 6 Hydralisks on the way as well, 8 Overlords, so he's not going to be supply blocked anymore, because let's face it, it's pretty fucking annoying. But it looks like Darth Vader has a huge force here, but Tangent is actually has this, had the supply lead for a second there. Not exactly sure where his army is. It must have been on the bottom left. This could be dangerous for either player. This choke, this little wall off could be pretty tough. If the Hydras can deal a lot of damage to these Zealots, but in the other way around, these Zerglings aren't going to get any sort of surround with this wall off here, so they're going to not do as much damage as before. So it looks like the Immortals might be taking this out, but it looks like the +1 attack for the Zerglings is going to be just finished. Very interesting game. A lot of Niduses going on. I think this was the 8th Nidus Worm now? He's got 8 Niduses on the field. He's going to go into his 3rd here. I like this play, trying to go around and be more aggressive. I've never seen so many Niduses in my life in one game. And actually pops out, trying to take out as many probes and this cannon as possible, and trying to do as much economic damage in order to take out his opponent, since he probably can't take out this force head on at all. And what Darth Vader probably needs to do is actually move in with his units. Does he actually know this units here? That's a lot of Hydralisks. That is natural here. And it looks like he's already preoccupied with this force here. Darth Vader is moving in for the main attack here, trying to take out all of these evolution chambers. Takes out one more, loses the Mothership Core, which is terrible. There's no way he's gonna warp back or get another Nexus Cannon at a later time. So he's going to have to create another one and wait for the energy to come back. And down here, another Nidus Worm going to be built, as he was afraid the one that was already there was going to be taken out. Only 4 Zealots warping in, which is going to be taken out very quickly with this DPS. Holy shit! I love this creep on here. That's pretty sweet. What is it? Oh, I'm not zoomed out. And it looks like he might be sandwiched against these cannons and all of this entire army. So Stalkers and Immortals are coming in. A couple of these force fields going down. Not the best force fields. I think he's just going to go around here. And Zealots aren't going to do very much damage at all, but the Hydralisks are being actually taken out very quickly. Phoenixes take out 5 more, and it's just taking them out one by one, and Stalker's helping out with that damage. Only 3 remaining, 2 remaining, and this, yeah, he does take out a Zealot. But what he did take out the 3rd, but after that, didn't get as much damage as he wanted to at his natural. He possibly maybe wanted to leave half of his force up here just to distract and take out the rest of his probes up here, but unfortunately did not do that. And it looks like he's going to clean out what he has left. Phoenixes scout out the ninja base on the bottom left corner here. The economy for Tangent is pretty great. I mean, his well, it was doing pretty great. He's on 2 bases compared to the 1 base that Darth Vader's on. I mean, technically he's on 2, but he's running out of minerals real quick on both of those bases. Ooh. Let's see, +1 attack is almost done for Darth Vader. Ninja expansion has been scouted and is going to be taken out very quickly here. There's a lot of drones, and it looks like doesn't get enough in there. He doesn't get all of them in there in time, but I think he got half of them in there at least, which is a nice little escape path for Tangent here. God, those got to be the most annoying things in the world. Those Niduses, man, they can carry you anywhere. That's actually a pretty cool play. And it looks like Mulus were created. Colossus on his way out, which I agree with the Colossus play, because they can do a lot of damage to Hydralisks, especially with that range. And Phoenixes are going to take out the rest of these Mulus. I gotta say, the Phoenixes are like the most annoying unit as a Zerg player. If you're making Mulus, as a Zerg player, bleh. If you're making Mulus and you're going against a Protoss player who's making a bunch of Phoenixes, if they get that range, they barely have to micro it. They basically just have to move around you. They'll automatically attack you all day long. And Mulus don't have that range to actually attack them. So it's the most frustrating feeling in the world when you can't do anything at all. You'll have to like stutter step back as quickly as possible. Maybe take out one if you're lucky. But it looks like he may actually, well, I wouldn't say he over created Phoenixes. It just looks like Tangent never really fully embraced the Mutalisk. He was only making a few, possibly just to harass where he could, but it never really worked out in the end. But it's not looking good for Tangent anymore. He's on one base basically. A couple of these Zerglings trying to do a little bit more damage to the third before it's actually created here, but the cannons are here. One does fall down, but takes out the rest of these Zergling forces here. A big, massive force here from Darth Vader is going to go straight into natural, and the 132 supply compared to the 79 supply is not looking good for our Zerg player here. Zelt's doing a little bit of damage here. Corruptors are out on the field. See if he can do a bit of damage to the Colossus here. Does almost take one down to actual health here, rather than taking out the shields. Broodlord's on the way. Very interesting. You know, I've always been a big fan of Broodlords. They're like the perfect siege unit for a Zerg. You never see them enough. You never really do. Whew, this is getting a pretty long game. 30 minutes into the game, and it looks like Darth Vader is going to create his 400 pylon. After that is created, I think Tangent might be in some deep shit. Looks like these two Broodlords are going to do a little bit of damage here. Just trying to pick off maybe a Stalker. Doesn't quite... Oh, he finally does get it with this one last little Broodling. And the Phoenixes are trying to rush in and try to destroy those Broodlords. One does get down to half health, but is healed quickly by that Queen. What is his plan? What are you expecting? He's not going to make his 400 pylon as close as he was going to. Instead, he's going to make it a little bit farther back. Does finally scout that there's another ninja expand here. The Phoenixes can't do anything except for stare at it. And the rest of the Protoss force is going to come here and destroy it. I think he just F2'd his entire army and just decided to attack this base. He probably would have been fine just sending about a couple of these Zealots to attack it. And it looks like he is going to scout out a little bit more, possibly, or just move these back. I like the pylon, just to make sure there's not going to be another one here. And then to expand, a lot of Zerglings on the field. How many is that? That is 84 Zerglings on the field right now. Is the rest of them on the base here? Yeah, the rest of them are here. He sent half of them out to possibly do some more damage. Another hatchery in production at his normal third for once. Yeah, I think that's the first time that's actually been used in this game. You don't see that very often. Another pylon going down. Interesting place for one, but, you know, do what you do, bro. A couple more Zealots and an Archon and Storm in production here, which is a great play from our Protoss player, especially with all these clumped up units. If they're going to stick up here, a couple of these High Templars could do a bunch of damage to all these units that are just so clumped up together. And Zergling's just going to scout around, possibly going to take out this pylon here. Let's see if he sees the probe as well. If he sees the probe, that'd be a nice little pick. If he does see the probe, takes it out. Takes it off. He's gonna have mercy. I guess not. Yeah. I think he's just gonna do a little bit of scouting. This nice little creep tumor here. Just I don't know how that got by. Does he? I don't think he has an observer at all. Nope. Instead, Darth Vader is going for a fourth base as his main is completely mined out. With a few of these probes, need to get back to work, those lazy assholes. And his natural is nearly mined out. Let's see, we have 100, 2, 3, 4, maybe 500 minerals left over. Darth Vader is going to move forward here. Corruptor's trying to do a little bit of damage to these Phoenixes, and he's going underneath these Stalkers. Looks like he needs to actually target down these Colossi with these Corruptors, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like he's going straight for these Phoenixes, which I don't completely agree with, because you had a bunch of Zerglings and Hydralisks down here. I'm not sure if it's a lot of Hydralisks, but looks like it's a GG now. Losing all of his force here, he didn't have anything left. He really needed to target those Colossus because they were doing so much damage to everything down there. Fuck you, Zerg. I have a feeling that Darth Vader is not a big fan of Zerg. just a little bit. Well, that was a fun game to watch, and thank you for the replay. Thank you for posting it on our cast it. And I have to say, I'm kind of new to this, so any kind of feedback is crazy appreciated. So write that down on Reddit or just put it on the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. Anywho, GG, well played.